What's up YouTube, Alvaro here. Welcome to the Bilingual Stock Market channel again. You guys already know this channel. In this channel we talk about the markets, but we do it in English and Spanish. We do things a bit differently so you guys can pick your preferred language. And in this video, and as I do it Mondays through Thursdays, I want to make a quick stock market update. I want to break down some technicals going over the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100, which happen to be the most important indices of the United States stock market. And at the end of the video, I am going to be breaking down from a technical standpoint one cryptocurrency, because we had such a crazy morning today when it comes to cryptocurrencies, and two stocks that are going to be on the top of my watch list for tomorrow's trading session. So let's get started. And today we are having yet again another red day in the markets. The four major indices of the United States stock market are trading in negative territory. And when it comes to the S&P 500, and by the way guys, we'll still have 5 more minutes in today's trading session, and it looks like the bulls are probably going to close above 4,100, which is going to be some sort of positive signs when it comes to this index. So if we close above 4,100, then the most important level of support that I am going to be looking at in tomorrow's trading session is going to be 40.85. Today, the bulls managed to hold 40.85 at noon as a lower support, and 40.85 is also a previous area of resistance that today acted as a support. 40.85 already acted as a resistance for the bulls in the S&P 500 in 1, 2, 3, and 4 opportunities before. So if we close above 4,100, watch out tomorrow for 40.85, and from a resistance standpoint, tomorrow 4120 is supposed from a technical standpoint to act as an important level of resistance for the bulls in this index. Let's don't forget that 4120 is a very important level or area of previous support for the bulls in the S&P 500. So let's count over here. 4120 already acted as a support for the bulls in the S&P 500 in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 opportunities before, but it also acted as a resistance back on April 12th, and it also acted as a resistance back on May 13th. And if 4120 happens to be broken to the upside, then the other very important level of resistance that I am going to be looking at in the S&P 500 is going to be 4180. 4180 is an important area of previous support in the S&P 500 that already acted as such in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 opportunities before, but it also acted as a resistance back on April 16th. And mind you guys, this index, the technicals, aren't looking any good. So if tomorrow we have another leg down or an important leg down, tomorrow I am going to be looking at 40.40 for support in this index. Take a look at this. 40.40 coincides with the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, but it also coincides with the base of a breakout candle of April 5th. So let's see how everything plays out in the S&P 500. We're having a nice rally into the closing bell. Let me pull up here the 1-day, 1-minute chart. And can the bulls take on 4120? There you go. No, they couldn't. There goes the market. So we finally closed at 4115, a bit below 4120. So tomorrow I am definitely going to be watching 4120 as overhead resistance and 4140 as well. And as I said before, if we happen to have an important leg down, watch out for support for the bulls in the S&P 500 at around 40.42 or even 40.60, which was the lower support in today's trading session, and 40.60 also acted as a lower support a few days ago on May 12. And in the case of the NASDAQ 100, guys, the bulls managed to pull up a green day. Let's go. So the NASDAQ 100 went up 0.15%, and it closed today's trading session at 13,237 points. So let me zoom in here on the 4-hour chart. So according to this close, guys, the most important area of resistance for tomorrow's trading session is going to be 13,300 points which is a price, which is an area that coincides with the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, but this area is also an important area of previous resistance for the bulls in the NASDAQ 100. 13,300 points already acted as a resistance in which the bulls of the NASDAQ 100 failed at in 1, 2, and 3 opportunities before. So the most important area of resistance for tomorrow's trading session, 13,300 points. If that area of resistance happens to be broken to the upside, watch out for 13,420 points, which was an area in which the bulls of the NASDAQ 100 failed at back on May 14th. And if we happen to see a leg down, another leg down tomorrow, watch out for 13,100. Remember, guys, 13,100 already acted as a support for the NASDAQ 100 in one opportunity, but it also acted as a resistance in 1, 2, and 3 opportunities before. So these are going to be the levels that I am going to be looking at tomorrow in the NASDAQ 100. And mind you, guys, if tomorrow we happen to have a solid rally in the NASDAQ 100 and we happen to be able to burst above 13,300 and 13,400 points, watch out for the bulls paying a visit up to 13,700 points. So let's see how everything plays out tomorrow in the NASDAQ 100, but we had a very solid close in today's trading session. And by the way, guys, if tomorrow we happen to, or the bulls in the NASDAQ 100 cannot hold 13,100 as a lower support, then I am going to be looking at 12,980 points, which acted as a lower support in today's trading session, but it also acted as a lower support back on May 12th. So let's see how everything plays out tomorrow in the NASDAQ 100. And now let's go ahead and take a look and talk about Bitcoin. And in the case of Bitcoin, guys, what we saw this morning was absolutely unreal. It was epic. I don't find any other words to describe what we saw this morning from 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 9:12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So take a look at this, guys. And mind you, I have seen a bunch of crazy things in the stock market. Last year, we had a day, I think that was March 18th, in which the S&P 500 dropped 12% during the worst days of the COVID-19 crash. So I have seen a lot of crazy stuff in the markets so far, but what we saw, or what I saw rather, this morning is something that I will never ever forget about. So take a look. Bitcoin was trading at $39,000 today at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it dropped something like 22% in 1 hour and 10 minutes. This is absolutely unbelievable, guys, what we saw this morning. So first of all, I am investing in Bitcoin at a long term. There was no fucking way I was going to sell any of my Bitcoin. I wasn't going to panic sell any of my Bitcoin. However, I took advantage of this volatility to take 2 day trades, or rather, I should say, to take a day trade on Ethereum and to open a swing position on Bitcoin. So check this out, guys. So I ended up purchasing Bitcoin at $32,623. I almost caught the very bottom this morning on Bitcoin, and as of now I have an unrealized gain of $320 because Bitcoin is trading at 39,550, I don't know, $39,560, all right, ish, as I am recording this video. So what's my plan when it comes to this swing position, guys? And mind you, I have been buying Bitcoin aggressively since last Saturday, all right, for my long-term position. But when it comes to this swing trade, my price target is going to be $44,500. And why that price, guys? Well, because I'm thinking that $44,500 is going to be a very tough area of resistance for the bulls of Bitcoin on their way to the upside, because we are talking about an important previous area of support for Bitcoin. $44,500 already acted as a support for the bulls of Bitcoin back on February 10th and also back in early March. So that is going to be the area in which I am going to be locking in the profit in the case of the swing position that I opened today in Bitcoin. And what do I think could be the lowest that Bitcoin can go? What do I think is the worst case scenario for Bitcoin as of now? Well, I'm thinking, guys, that $29,000 is the lowest that Bitcoin is going to go, or at least that's what I am hoping for. And why $29,000? Well, because $29,000 is a previous area of support for Bitcoin that already acted as such. And take a look at this, guys. The bulls of Bitcoin actually made a double bottom formation at $29,000 back in late January. So from a technical standpoint, we can expect an important area of support for the bulls of Bitcoin at $29,000. And take a look at this, guys, because Bitcoin found support today at $30,100 ish. And this goes to show how technicals work, guys. $30,100 is a previous area of support for the bulls of Bitcoin that already acted as such back in early January. So this was no coincidence, guys. I mean, from a technical standpoint, we can tell that Bitcoin got extremely oversold when it dropped so aggressively this morning, but the bulls managed to find support at an area in which they were supposed to find support from a technical standpoint. So watch out for Bitcoin tomorrow or in the upcoming days trying to burst above $44,500. And I hope Bitcoin, the mother of all cryptocurrencies, not to pay another visit to the lows, $30,000. And the first stock of this video is going to be JD.com. And in the case of JD.com, this is a Chinese e-commerce company that is headquartered in the city of Beijing. And this company pretty much engages in the sales of electric products. This is a huge company, guys, with a market capitalization of $113 billion. And JD.com actually reported earnings this morning, and EPS came at 38 cents, pretty much in line with what the analysts were expecting. And sales came out at $31 billion, whereas the analysts were expecting $29.6 billion. So we can say that JD.com pretty much beat on earnings all across the board. And I am actually taking a swing trade as of now with JD.com. So take a look at this, guys. I purchased 100 shares at $67, so we can make the case that I cocked the bottom in the case of this swing position, and as of now I have an unrealized gain of $351. So what's my plan when it comes to JD.com and when it comes to the swing position that I just showed you? And take a look at this, guys. JD.com is as of now right below the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart at $71.80 or $72. JD.com went up today 1.20% and it closed today's trading session at $70.58. So I'm thinking, and I am going to zoom in here on the 4-hour chart, that if JD.com happens to burst above the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart, it can easily fill the gap up to the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart at $75. And take a look at this, and I need to zoom out here. $76 coincides with the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, but it also coincides with a previous area of support for the bulls of JD.com. So $76 already acted as a support for the bulls of JD.com back in early October of last year, and it also acted as a lower support for JD.com back on March 25th. So we are talking about a very important area of previous support that on top of that coincides with the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So that is going to be my price target in the case of this swing position. So if any of you wants to take a trade on JD.com bursting above the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart, and remember that I am not a financial advisor, so you have to do your own research work and reach your own conclusions, but say that you buy shares of JD.com at $72 $80 and you sell those shares at $76. In that case, you're going to be locking in a profit of almost 5%. Nothing to sneeze at, so watch out for JD.com tomorrow or in the upcoming days bursting above the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart at around $72. And the last stock of this video is going to be Dr. Horton. And in the case of this company, Dr. Horton, this is pretty much a company that builds family houses. If you live in the US, you know that the housing market has been on fire, and most analysts out there believe that the housing market is still going to be on fire for the foreseeable future. So this is a company that was founded in 1978 and has a market capitalization of $32 billion. So I think that Dr. Horton could be a potential reopening play. And I really like the technical setup that I am seeing on the 4-hour chart. And take a look at how the bulls of Dr. Horton found support this morning at $91, which happens to be a very important area of previous support for the bulls of Dr. Horton. $91 already acted as a support for this stock in 1, 2, 3, and 4 opportunities before counting this morning support. So I'm thinking, guys, that if tomorrow I happen to see Dr. Horton pre-market trading at around $91.50 ish, I might pick up some shares pre-market of Dr. Horton, and obviously depending on how the markets are looking like in general terms, and most importantly how the real estate sector is looking like tomorrow. Because I'm thinking that if I pick up some shares of Dr. Horton, as I said before, in the vicinity of $91.70 or $92, I could see tomorrow this stock filling the gap up to the next important area of resistance at around $97. $97 is an area, is a price that already acted as a resistance for the bulls of Dr. Horton in 1, 2, and 3 opportunities before. So if I happen to be able to take this trade the way that I am describing it, I could be potentially locking in a profit of almost 6%. So watch out for Dr. Horton. This stock, by the way, went down today 1% and it closed today's trading session at $91.31. So I am going to be looking at Dr. Horton tomorrow pre-market like a hawk. So, and as I said before, if I notice that the pre-market session is looking green, and most importantly, if the real estate sector is trading in positive territory, I am going to be picking up a bunch of shares of Dr. Horton. And if this trade happens to unfold the way that I am describing it here, then I am going to be making good money with Dr. Horton. And with Dr. Horton, I am going to wrap up the video. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Remember that here on the Bilingual Stock Market channel, we are posting these stock market update videos Mondays through Thursdays right after the market closes. So if you want to get the notifications of our videos in a timely manner, you have to be subscribed to the channel, but most importantly, you need to activate the notification bell right up there. Follow us on Instagram, guys, at Bilingual Stock Market. On our Instagram account, we are posting news and information on a daily basis, but most importantly, I am making call outs throughout the trading session about the stocks that I am about to take trades with. And remember that this is the Bilingual Stock Market channel, the YouTube channel in which we talk about the markets, but we do it in English and Spanish. But most importantly, this is the YouTube channel in which we know that the wonderful world of Wall Street is not for geniuses, it is for entrepreneurs just like you guys and myself. My name is Alvaro, and I will see you guys tomorrow right after the market closes. Peace out. Keep on crushing the markets.